Are we puppets of time? Does the future write the past, or does the past write the future?
I'm back.
This is the question the Terminator franchise wants us to explore. Let's start with the basic plot of the Terminator. Fast forward to 2029, a super intelligent computer called Skynet has turned against humans and caused a lot of destruction. The only hope for humanity is a man named John Connor. Skynet sends a Terminator, an assassin robot, back in time to eliminate John's mother, Sarah, before John is born. To counter this, the Resistance sends back Kyle Reese, creating a high-stakes chase through time and the foundation for our paradox. The real puzzler in the Terminator time loop paradox is how the story seems to go around in circles. Kyle Reese, while protecting Sarah Connor, ends up being John Connor's dad. Plus, the broken parts of the Terminator that Skynet sent back became the basis of Skynet's creation. So, both John's birth and Skynet's creation depend on the future actions. This is what we call a predestination paradox, or a causal loop. It's a real brain twister because the cause and effect are caught in a cycle, and there's no clear start point. In the Terminator storyline, it's like John Connor and Skynet create themselves, with each one being the cause and effect of their existence. This kind of paradox can make us question a lot of things. It suggests that the universe is set on a fixed path, and what individuals do can't change the course of events. This goes against the more common idea of time, where what happens in the past shapes the present, and the present shapes the future. According to the fixed path theory, everything follows a set pattern, including what happens with Skynet, Sarah, John, and Kyle. But the later Terminator movies seem to challenge this fixed path theory. The character in these films try to break the loop, with lines like,
"There's no fate but what we make for ourselves."
This idea introduces the possibility of free will, as characters make efforts to change the future and break out of the predestination paradox. To try and make sense of these conflicting ideas, we could look at the theory of multiverse or many worlds interpretation. This theory suggests there could be parallel universes where different things happen. This could explain why the timeline seems to change in the later films, while still keeping the loop in the original timeline. Regardless of how we try to explain it, the Terminator time loop paradox is a really interesting part of the storyline. It makes us rethink our understanding of time, cause and effect, and destiny. The movies use this paradox not just to drive the plot, but also to spark deeper thinking.
John Connor talks too much.
To wrap up, the time loop paradox in the Terminator movies create a fascinating and layered story that keeps viewers guessing. Whether you believe in a fixed path or free will, multiple universes or a single, unchangeable timeline, you have to appreciate how this complex concept has made the Terminator so intriguing. Let's dive deeper into the idea of predestination and its portrayal in the Terminator franchise. With predestination, everything is set to happen as it will, without the possibility of change. This idea can seem quite bleak. It implies that no matter what Sarah, John, or Kyle do, they are ultimately powerless to change the future. It's like being on a train track that only goes in one direction. But what does this mean for our characters and their struggles?
Good morning, Dr. Silberman.
Well, it could mean that their actions, while seemingly important, are just part of a greater cycle. This adds a layer of tragedy to the story. For example, Kyle's heroic efforts to protect Sarah only serves to ensure the existence of the very future he is trying to prevent. This raises a question about the futility of their struggle. Are they merely puppets in a play that has been scripted from the start? The later movies, however, challenge this idea. Characters are shown attempting to rewrite their destinies, suggesting the existence of free will. Here, the franchise introduces a glimmer of hope amidst the bleak deterministic outlook. If characters can break free from the predestined loop, then their struggles gain meaning. Their actions become significant and can reshape the future, offering an uplifting message of the human resilience. The character of Sarah Connor personifies this resilience. In the first film, she is a waitress with no knowledge of the grim future. But as she learns about her destiny, she evolves into a warrior, ready to fight for her son's life and the future of mankind. Her transformation can be seen as an embodiment of the struggle between determinism and free will. Another interesting angle to consider is the perspective of the Terminator itself.
Now listen to me very carefully.
In the first movie, the Terminator is a machine, unflinchingly following its programming. However, in the sequel, a Terminator is reprogrammed to protect John, not to kill him. The Terminator begins to learn from John and even develops something akin to feelings. This shift could be interpreted as the Terminator gaining some form of free will, further complicating our paradox. The Terminator franchise doesn't provide clear answers to the question it raises. The time loop paradox is left as an enigma, yet the lack of resolution is precisely what makes it so captivating. It leaves room for interpretation and encourages viewers to ponder these big questions to themselves. In summary, the Terminator time loop paradox serves as a complex narrative tool that deepens the storyline and characters' arcs of the franchise. It explores heavy themes like predestination, free will, and the nature of time, all while providing heart-pounding action and suspense. This unique blend is part of what makes the Terminator series such an enduring piece of cinematic history.